Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was born in 1906 in Brooklyn, New York. His family were poor Jewish immigrants from Ukraine. They lived in a cramped apartment surrounded by gangs, poverty, and crime. As a boy, Bugsy hated being poor. He wanted money, power, and respect, and he was willing to take it by force. Bugsy didn't finish school. Instead, he learned survival on the streets of Williamsburg. He ran errands for small-time crooks, carried messages for bootleggers, and quickly learned how fear could buy obedience. By his teenage years, he already had a reputation: reckless, bold, and violent. At 16, Siegel started his own little gang. They robbed pushcarts, hijacked trucks, and collected protection money from shop owners. He wasn't big, but he was fearless. When anyone refused to pay, Bugsy made an example out of them. His name began spreading through Brooklyn's underworld. One day, Siegel crossed paths with another sharp-minded young criminal, Meyer Lansky. Lansky wasn't violent like Bugsy. He was a thinker. But together, they made the perfect team: brains and brutality. They started the Bugs Meyer Mob, running bootlegging, gambling, and car theft during Prohibition. Their bond was deep. Lansky trusted Bugsy's courage, and Bugsy trusted Lansky's calm. They protected each other through every war and every deal. Their friendship would later form the backbone of the American Mafia's national network. But as everyone in the underworld knew, friendship and crime rarely survived forever. During Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, opportunity exploded. Siegel and Lansky made fortunes smuggling liquor across state lines. They bribed cops, hijacked rival shipments, and ran speakeasies all over New York. Bugsy was the enforcer, quick with a gun, faster with his temper. His violence made money flow. People called him Bugsy because of his unpredictable temper. They said he looked crazy as a bedbug when angry. He hated the nickname. To him, it sounded like mockery. But the name stuck, and it became part of his legend. When Bugsy got mad, everyone cleared the room. Through Lansky, Siegel met Charles "Lucky" Luciano, the rising Italian-American mobster. Luciano wanted to modernize organized crime, make it run like a business. He saw something special in Bugsy: loyalty, ambition, and fearlessness. Together, they would change the American underworld forever. In the 1930s, Siegel helped form Murder, Incorporated, a secret group of hitmen who handled assassinations for the Mafia. They operated out of Brooklyn and killed anyone the bosses wanted gone. Bugsy wasn't just a member. He helped organize it. He made sure every job was done clean, fast, and final. Siegel and Luciano's partnership grew. When Luciano went after rival mob boss Salvatore Maranzano in 1931, Bugsy helped plan the hit. Maranzano was killed, and Luciano became the top mafia boss in America. From that moment, Siegel's name was written into mafia history. By the mid-1930s, Bugsy wanted more than New York blood money. He wanted fame. He saw opportunity in California, where Hollywood stars, producers, and gamblers lived. He moved to Los Angeles, claiming he was just a businessman. But behind the smile, he was planting the Mafia's flag in the West. Bugsy fit perfectly into Hollywood life. He wore the best suits, drove expensive cars, and attended every party movie stars adored him. He dated actresses, including Virginia Hill, a beautiful, fiery woman who would later become his greatest weakness. Bugsy wasn't just a gangster anymore. He was a celebrity. In Hollywood, Siegel became the mob's silent enforcer. He helped control gambling, extortion, and illegal betting operations. Anyone who caused problems, from nightclub owners to loan sharks, got a visit from Bugsy. Even studio heads feared crossing him. Behind the glamour was pure intimidation. Bugsy also dabbled in narcotics trafficking with his old friend Lucky Luciano. He used his Hollywood connections to move drugs quietly across the country. The profits were huge. He built a life of mansions, cars, and women, all while smiling for photos with film stars. One of Siegel's early mistakes was killing an old associate named Harry Greenberg had threatened to talk to police about Mafia activities. Bugsy personally handled the hit in Los Angeles. But witnesses talked. It was the first time law enforcement got close to bringing him down. In 1939, Siegel was arrested and charged with Greenberg's murder. It made headlines across the nation. But the witnesses mysteriously disappeared. One was killed, others fled. With no evidence left, Bugsy walked free. It reinforced his image as untouchable. By the early 1940s, everyone in the underworld respected and feared him. Bugsy didn't just command with words. He commanded with silence. If he stared at you too long, you apologized. He was handsome, violent, and unpredictable. A man who made crime look charming. During World War II, Siegel used his influence to help the US government crack down on Nazi agents in America. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. The government needed Mafia help to protect New York docks from sabotage. Bugsy's cooperation gave him protection and legitimacy. After the war, Siegel visited Las Vegas, then just a dusty desert town. He saw something nobody else did: potential. He imagined casinos, hotels, lights, and luxury in the middle of nowhere. It was madness at the time. But Bugsy was never afraid of crazy ideas. In 1945, Siegel decided to build a casino, the Flamingo Hotel. It would be the most glamorous resort in America. He convinced East Coast mobsters to invest millions. It was the first major Mafia-backed casino in Las Vegas history. Bugsy promised them fortunes. But the project was a nightmare. Costs exploded. The desert heat ruined materials. Contractors stole money. Bugsy's temper flared daily. What started as a $1 million plan ballooned to over $6 million. The Mafia bosses back in New York grew restless. They wanted answers. Bugsy trusted Virginia Hill completely. She handled some of the money, but rumors spread that she was secretly taking millions for herself. Whether true or not, it made Bugsy look weak. The bosses didn't forgive weakness, especially when it involved money. On December 26, 1946, the Flamingo finally opened. Celebrities attended, lights glowed, and Bugsy stood proud. But the timing was wrong. Bad weather delayed travel, and few gamblers came. Within weeks, the casino lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was a disaster. In New York, Meyer Lansky and Lucky Luciano were furious. They had invested millions, and it looked like Bugsy was sinking it all. Rumors spread that he was stealing from them. Even worse, his arrogance was making powerful men look foolish. A death sentence was quietly being written. Just as the bosses prepared to pull the plug, something changed. The Flamingo started making money. Tourists began arriving. The casino was packed every night. Bugsy's dream was finally working. But it was too late. The decision to remove him had already been made. In the spring of 1947, Bugsy returned to Los Angeles. He was confident again, believing the worst was over. He spent time with Virginia Hill, visited friends, and spoke about expanding the casino. But others were already preparing his end. Quietly, efficiently, without emotion. Bugsy was sitting in Virginia Hill's Beverly Hills mansion, reading a newspaper. Hill was away in Las Vegas. Through the window, gunmen fired a rifle 9 times. 2 bullets struck his head, others hit his chest. Bugsy died instantly, his face destroyed by the blast. It was one of the most shocking murders in Mafia history. Within hours, every newspaper in America printed his death. Photos of his body, slumped on the couch, filled front pages. To some, it was justice. To others, it was betrayal. But in Las Vegas, something strange happened. That same night, the Flamingo's profits tripled. Meyer Lansky, his oldest friend, said nothing publicly. He quietly took control of the Flamingo and turned it into a success. The Mafia's investment was safe again. But those close to Lansky said he never truly forgave himself for approving Bugsy's death. Bugsy Siegel never lived to see it, but his vision became reality. Within years, Las Vegas turned into the gambling capital of the world. Every casino that followed, from the Sands to the Bellagio, owed its beginning to his madness. The desert he dreamed of became gold. After the murder, police stormed Virginia Hill's Beverly Hills home. The house was too quiet, too perfect, as if someone had cleaned fear out of the air. On the table sat Bugsy's half-finished newspaper, the ink still wet. Detectives knew instantly. This wasn't a robbery or a feud. This was an execution. Virginia Hill flew to Europe days before the shooting. Officially, it was a vacation. Unofficially, everyone understood the truth. She wasn't running from the police. She was running from the Mafia's anger. Whatever she knew, she carried it in silence. Her departure became one more shadow in Bugsy's story. As the sun rose over Nevada the morning after Bugsy's death, casino bosses held quiet meetings. The Flamingo opened its doors as if nothing had happened. Money rolled in faster than ever. The desert didn't care about the body in California. Vegas was a machine, and Bugsy had become the fuel that made it roar to life. Detectives interviewed enemies, friends, and everyone in between. No one talked. No evidence surfaced. The bullets came from a rifle, but that meant nothing in a city where half the men owned one. Bugsy's killing became the perfect crime. The case went cold so quickly it left a trail of frost behind it. In New York, the bosses didn't hold funerals or shed tears. They held meetings. They replaced Bugsy's leadership, reassigned the casino, and divided profits. The underworld moved on with chilling efficiency. In their world, a man was worth more dead than disobedient. People close to Lansky said he grew quieter after Bugsy's death. He never publicly admitted involvement, but friends heard him speak softly about mistakes that can't be undone. The man who built empires with numbers and strategy had lost the only friend who matched his fire. Regret settled on him like permanent smoke. Bugsy's funeral in New York was small. Family, a few loyal friends, and the press watching from across the street. No Mafia bosses appeared. They stayed far away, leaving the Siegel family alone with their grief. In the photographs from that day, Bugsy's mother looks like she already knows she'll never get justice. The Flamingo became a success. Las Vegas became a kingdom. And Bugsy, the man who tried to build a dream in the desert, transformed into something larger than life. Historians argued about him. Filmmakers turned him into a romantic anti-hero, and gamblers whispered his name as if he still wandered the casino floors at night. Workers at the old hotel used to claim they felt a presence in the hallways. A cold breath near the bar, footsteps in empty rooms. Whether it was imagination or guilt, it became part of the myth. Bugsy built this kingdom, and the kingdom never truly let him go. His vision was stitched into every neon light. Bugsy Siegel lived fast, built big, and died violently. A perfect triangle for a gangster legend. He wasn't the smartest mobster or the richest, but he was the boldest. He looked at a desert and saw a future city of fire and lights. He saw luxury where others saw dust. That madness changed America. And long after his killers vanished into silence, Bugsy's dream kept shining across the Nevada night, proof that even the wildest men can leave something immortal behind.